The year is 1895, and Sarah Bernhardt is like a true queen. Some even call her the empress of the theater. Far from resting on her laurels, however, the actress continues to take risks. She has just recently acquired a theater in Paris, on the Place du Châtelet, the Théâtre de la Renaissance. To launch it, she needs a play, or rather, a success. So Sarah Bernhardt commissions a talented young author on the rise by the name of Edmond Rostand to write a historical drama in her honor. This play is called The Princess Faraway. To make things even more memorable, Sarah turns to the great jeweler René Lalique and asks him to make her a crown, the likes of which has never been seen before. You're listening to Voice of Jewels, a podcast from L'École, School of Jewelry Arts, supported by Van Cleef Arpels, unveiling the stories and secrets behind history's most fascinating jewels. Stage fright. Why is she always struck by such debilitating stage fright before a performance? As she likes to say, with talent comes stage fright. But tonight, she would rather she wasn't so talented. In her dressing room, Sarah places the crown made for her by Lalique on her forehead. It sparkles. Finely crafted, the crown is heavy with gemstones. Her hand trembles. She wonders if her endeavor is destined for catastrophe or triumph. She studies her reflection in the mirror, the dazzling crown on her head. As beautiful as it is, the actress knows that this adornment is just a theatrical jewel, a seductive simulacrum, to make the audience believe that she is indeed the Princess of Tripoli.
Edmond Rostand took inspiration for the theme of the Princess Faraway from 12th century literature, particularly a 12th century prince and poet, Geoffrey Rudel.
Charline Coupeau, doctor in art history, jewelry specialist, gemologist, and researcher at L'École, School of Jewelry Arts.
Interestingly, in the literary text, the beauty of the princess from Tripoli is highlighted by the wearing of jewels and gems. In Edmond Rostand's play, we have a crown. This stage accessory is a rather imposing jewel, a closed crown with a gilded metal headband, encrusted with colored glass medallions resembling precious stones. The whole is surmounted by 5 trilobed motifs, once again decorated with fancy stones and pearls, and on both sides, 2 large bouquets of lilies with pearls and shiny glass pistils. An impressive piece, no doubt sublimating the figure of Sarah Bernhardt on stage.
Hidden in the wings, a nervous Sarah Bernhardt waits for the start of Act 1. The first act is entirely dedicated to preparing her grand entrance on stage in Act 2. The other characters sing the princess's praises, stirring up the expectations and curiosity of the audience. And then, the curtain rises. The stage, decorated like a fairy tale palace, half medieval, half oriental, is strewn with lilies. Sarah is about to make her entrance. She feels her throat tighten, that darned stage fright again, even though she can't help but smile. Her desire to perform is as keen as ever, despite her already long career and her 51 years. All of a sudden, the star is engulfed by a wave of nostalgia. She thinks back on her beginnings at the Conservatoire over 30 years ago. In her mind, the life of an actress is not unlike that of a lily. Her career as a leading lady may be brief, but the intense emotions experienced are without equal. Just like the heady fragrance of lilies, flowers associated with royalty. Act 2, Scene 2. A herald cries out, "The Princess!" The golden doors open, and Sarah Bernhardt appears, dressed in a heavy cape studded with all sorts of precious stones. On her forehead, a braid of pearls. All around her, children carry bunches of lilies. "'Tis she! Oh, how pure her unexpected grace! She pales the lilies and the Indic pearls. Look at her!" Yes, a bemused Sarah Bernhardt thinks to herself as she enters the stage, the crown glittering on her head. Look at me.
Sarah
Bernhardt had a true passion for jewelry, which she both wore on and off stage. She especially loved extravagant jewelry and called upon jewelers with an exuberant creative universe. A love of jewelry was seen as one of the many eccentricities associated with great actresses, who were often keen jewelry collectors. It was not uncommon for them to wear jewelry from their personal collection on stage, or pieces offered by admirers or institutions. This was the case in particular at the Comédie Française. In this way, jewelry items enjoyed a certain renown. Sarah Bernhardt, along with other celebrated actresses of tragic theater in the 19th century, contributed to the increasing presence and role of jewelry on stage. Jewelry also enabled many actresses to obtain a degree of power or leverage, in that not only were they collectors, but they could also play the role of patron. They were able to promote the work of contemporary jewelry artists by wearing and showcasing their productions.
Act 2, Scene 3. Sarah Bernhardt, now transformed into Melisande, nervously unbuttons her cape. She declaims, "O mantle broidered, gemate, loading me with ruby, sardonyx, and idiocras, with jasper, beryl, and with hessonite, with pebbles vain and shining nothingness. O mantle, weight that crushest me to death. O gorgeous mantle, thou art cover for another that I bear. Although unseen, it drags me down." She lets her mantle slide from her shoulders to the floor. She emerges in a close white gown. Her servant, Sorismonde, picks up the mantle. Sarah Bernhardt then hands her crown. "Remove my pearls and all this vain disguise." She takes a few lilies from the table and places them around her head. "And now I'm crowned as I prefer, with flowers still enriched with knightly pearls." The Princess Faraway is received somewhat harshly by critics and by the press. Does Madame Bernhardt need to dramatize her entrance by tearing off her white sleeves? Maliciously writes one English journalist. Nevertheless, the play is a public success. Audiences adore Sarah for her audacity and excess, her sheer extravagance. The newspapers, too, enjoy the exuberance of her private life, her menagerie with its monkeys and domesticated wild animals, and even the coffin where she sleeps at night, so as to resurrect the following day. The curtain descends, and Sarah Bernhardt removes her crown. Her tremor has disappeared. Her stage fright has vanished. But not her worries. Despite its public success, the Princess Faraway is a financial sinkhole. As she places her crown in the dressing room, Sarah thinks that she may have to, once again, sell some of her jewels to settle her debts. An act that prompted another cruel journalist in the past to write, "Sarah Bernhardt's most long-standing relationship is with her moneylenders." But Sarah doesn't care. The call of the theater is too great, its perfume too powerful. It is like the lilies, against which the servant Sorismonde in Rostand's play warns her in vain. "You live too much with lilies. They are white, they're proud and pure. But, in the end, lilies are troubling." Prophetic words that may be said to capture the essence of the troubling beauty of theater and its appeal to the one and only Sarah Bernhardt.
Sarah Bernhardt's relationship with jewelry did not end with the Princess Faraway and Rostand's play. In 1900, Edmond Rostand wrote a new play called L'Aiglon, with the actress in the starring role. Once again, Rostand called on René Lalique to design the cover of the book containing the text of his play that would become a great theatrical success. Lalique chose to adorn the cover of the book with a majestic gold eagle, reproducing a jewel he had recently created and which Sarah Bernhardt herself acquired at the 1900 World's Fair. What we should remember from The Princess Faraway is the formidable trio formed by Sarah Bernhardt, Edmond Rostand, and René Lalique, who remained firm friends over the years and were on the path to success, each in their own field.
Voice of Jewels, a podcast from L'École, School of Jewelry Arts, supported by Van Cleef and Arpels, with the participation of Charline Coupeau, doctor in art history, jewelry specialist, gemologist, and researcher at L'École, School of Jewelry Arts. Written by Martin Kinahan and Aram Kebabjan. Performed by Jean Ann Douglas and produced by Bubba Bam.